interesting column by Connor O'Gara that I would like to get into. But first, let me just ask you: do you believe, if you had to make a bet, that the NCAA and Tennessee being targeted, that it helps Tennessee on the field this season? Yay or nay?
Yes, I do. I think it helps Tennessee on the field this season because, not like usual, though, they're not the villain, guys. Everybody loves Tennessee for what they did. So, the whole keep your friends close, enemies closer. Other teams won't have the same psychological urge to destroy Tennessee because they'll be grateful to Tennessee.
Maybe a little bit of a reach, but I'll roll with that. Lastly, Kalen says, I think they need to enforce the actual rules like the Michigan video stuff. If they actually did their job, it would be great. But here's an example, Kalen, of here's exactly what's going to happen at Michigan. Will you write this down? Will you take a moment to write this down, Caleb? You don't really have to write it down. But they will hammer Michigan because Jim Harbaugh left. They will absolutely hammer Michigan because of the video stuff. Now, had he stayed, they would have taken it easier on him. That was an exit stage left, and NCAA do what you want. I don't know.
Here's why they won't.
Go ahead.
Here's why I don't think they'll hammer Michigan, and I'll tell you why. And I hate to bring this into it, but it's true. The NCAA knows it has a really bad problem with underrepresentation of minority head coaches in college football right now. You can't hammer the most premier program with a black head coach in college football right now.
Okay, I don't think that'll be a factor, but there are times when race, because I was, one of my good friends was black. I've been around black people my whole life, so I don't see that sometimes. So maybe I'm ignorant. Maybe I missed that, but I don't see that as being the case. But you well could be right. All right, so let's move on. The guy named Nico Iamaleava is pretty good. Where will he rank amongst the current NFL draft quarterbacks? So this is a column by Connor O'Gara, and we'll get to four downs, brought to you by Dynasty Pools and Spas. Mention Off the Hook Sports. Get $500 off of your spa. So here is the list, and I do want to go through them and one by one. And number 7 is J.J. McCarthy of Michigan. These are the top 7 signal callers in the 2024 class, according to Connor O'Gara. Number 6 is Bo Nix. Never thought I'd say that. Number 5 is Spencer Rattler. Number 4 is Michael Penix Jr. at Washington. Drake Maye, North Carolina. Jaden Daniels, LSU. Caleb Williams at Southern California. So we are going to ask you and each other, as we ask each other on YouTube every weekday at 10 a.m., some questions, and they are 4 downs, and it's brought to you by our good friends at Dynasty Pools and Spas. And mention, again, Off the Hook Sports, you get $500 off. Where does Nico actually rank? Well, let's do that right now with 4 downs.
4 Downs brought to you by Dynasty Spas, the most comfortable spas made in the United States of America, right here in East Tennessee. Drop in for the all-new showroom in Athens. Dynasty Spas, perfect for all 4 seasons. 4 Downs, presented by Off the Hook Sports.
Okay, so I gave you that list, and Cooper Mays is going to tell us what to do.
Cooper Mays here. Hit like and subscribe.
Thank you, Coop. And what down is it?
Coop here. First down.
All right, so I gave you the list, and I'm going to repeat it, but I will ask you, who will he definitely be better than? Nico Iamaleava will definitely be better than which of these quarterbacks? So, again, the list is J.J. McCarthy of Michigan, Bo Nix of Oregon, Spencer Rattler, South Carolina, Michael Penix Jr. of Washington, Drake Maye, UNC, Jaden Daniels, LSU, and lastly, Caleb Williams, Southern California. So who will Nico, when he is drafted, be it 2026 or 2027, or he's got that red shirt year, could be 2028. So who will he definitely be better than out of this list in your mind?
Okay, so he will definitely be better than Bo Nix. I think that's.
And he's not even last on the list, Caleb.
He's not even last on the list. I actually think JJ McCarthy's underrated.
That's the first one I was going to pick too. I think he will definitely be better than. I mean, when I say definitely, I'm saying that I would be stunned. JJ McCarthy at Michigan, I think he'll be better than. He'll be better than Bo Nix at Oregon. Spencer Rattler's an interesting one because if he fits into the right system and he has a better attitude than a Kyler Murray, I still think there's a quarterback out there that could change the game or continue to change the game like you've seen with Jalen Hurts in Philadelphia. So Spencer Rattler's an interesting one to me. But
so keep in mind, I wanted to get out here real quick. This isn't who we just think he'll be better than. This is who there is a 100% chance he'll be better than. This person has no chance of being better than him whatsoever.
Yes.
Right? Rattler, I'm with you. He could go somewhere and be okay. I think he'll definitely be better than Michael Penix Jr. I think Penix is limited.
Too.
I think he's limited. I don't think Penix has that great of an NFL career ahead of him. And I mean, I think he's a good guy, so I can maybe see him, as just a hard worker. But again, these are not who I think he'll be better than, because there's a lot of other people on the list who I think Nico will be better than. But yeah, I'll go with Michael Penix Jr.
Can I make a comparison between Michael Penix Jr. and somebody?
Sure.
Hendon Hooker took advantage of a system that surprised people initially. Now, I don't think Nico is going to be a system quarterback. Has some durability issues, good at navigating the pocket. I think there's a comparison there. Am I reaching?
Michael Penix played one defense that would have been within the top 6 defenses that Hendon Hooker faced in 2022. And that was the Michigan game, and he got waxed.
I agree. So not even a comparison? I'm not saying he's better.
I think Hendon Hooker's better because just of what I saw Hendon Hooker do against what am I trying to say? Against the SEC. Now I'll give you this. The reads are a lot easier in Josh Heupel's offense than Kalen DeBoer's offense. Kalen DeBoer has a lot of I talked to you about this yesterday, has a lot of the Jeff Tedford, Pat Hill influence in what he does. Mm-hmm. So the playbook's a little bit more complex for a quarterback in Kalen DeBoer's offense than Jeff Tedford's offense, or than Josh Heupel's offense. But
I thought you'd like my Penix and Hooker comparison. The Hooker comparison.
Super Maye here. Second down.
Okay. Who on this list will he not be as good as? This is 100% definite if you ask an NFL scout. Anything could change. Caleb Williams could suffer 3 ACL injuries, but anything could change. The one I hear from my NFL sources is Caleb Williams is a generational type quarterback. And I know a lot of us don't like him. I don't particularly like him either. And I do really like Drake Maye's play. I'm high on Drake Maye. I think that there's a possibility he will be the second or maybe even the first quarterback selected, but it certainly sounds like Caleb to this point. So those would be the two that I think would potentially have better careers than Nico Iamaleava.
Well, you're speaking out of two things, though, because you said potentially or you said 100%. There's a difference.
Okay, 100% then is Caleb Williams.
I don't think Caleb Williams is 100% going to be better than Nico. I don't think anybody is on this list is 100% going to be better than Nico in the NFL. I've watched a lot of Caleb Williams games, guys. He holds on to the ball way too long. Who is the only quarterback? Dave, outside of Aaron Rodgers, have you ever seen a quarterback get away with holding the ball that long in the NFL? Is Aaron Rodgers the only one you ever saw get away like that?
Well, Patrick Mahomes holds it forever. Patrick Mahomes 20 years ago, you would have said, you got to throw the ball. Stop running around like a crazy person.
Yeah, okay, I will give you Patrick Mahomes too. Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers are the only two quarterbacks. Are we saying Caleb Williams is on that level? Because I'm not seeing it.
No. Okay,
well, you have to be that generationally good.
He does hold on to the ball too long, and he's not as nimble as Patrick Mahomes, and his nimbleness allows him to get away with that, and his pocket presence. Caleb Williams has good pocket presence, but not elite pocket presence. Okay, maybe you talk me off the Caleb Williams.
Yeah, look, I think Shedeur Sanders is better than Caleb Williams. I watched that USC Colorado game last year, and Shedeur is better. Yeah, he's not because he's not a draft prospect, but yeah. I thought Shedeur was the better quarterback.
Caleb says the other Caleb, or Travis says Caleb Williams is more overrated than Ryan Elite. I don't know.
Well, you can't go there.
I don't know. That's pretty strong. What down is it on 4 downs? Brought to you by Dynasty Pools and Spas.
Tennessee center Cooper Maye's here. 3rd down.
All right, 3rd down is who is the most comparable? Well, mine. I said Penix with Penix with Hooker, but I find it difficult to pick a quarterback off of this list that is comparable to Nico Iamaleava. I'm struggling on 3rd down. How about you?
Yeah, I would honestly go Drake Maye.
I would too.
And I mean,
we're
he's not
agreeing
that
too
good.
much.
We guys, we don't manufacture debate for show. We made that very clear. But yeah, I and Nico's more mobile than Drake Maye, but it's not like. Yeah, I gotta go Drake Maye. It's Drake Maye.
Travis, I'm not even reading that. Yes, I will. He said from this list, Penix sticks out. So Jamarcus Russell getting a vote as well. The scissor. All right. So the last 4 downs brought to you by Dynasty Pools and Spas. Where will Nico Iamaleava get drafted? 4 downs brought to you by Dynasty Pools and Spas. We'll answer that for you right after this. Just 30 seconds. Imagine having the best spas made right here in the United States of America in your backyard. Dynasty Pools and Spas. Their showroom is open in Athens, right off the interstate. You can stop by and check out the best hot tubs and spas in the market. And then delivery, yes, they can do that to Knoxville or Chattanooga. They've got complete support, spa cover, and chemicals to keep your spa bubbling at its best. They also have pool chemicals as well. Dynasty Pools and Spas, amazing discounts for first responders, military, and even some blemish models that can save you a ton, and no one will ever notice. Mention Off the Hook Sports, get $500 off. Mention Off the Hook Sports, get $500 off. Dynasty Pools and Spas. Go to dynastypoolsandspas.com or stop by that showroom in Athens. dynastypoolsandspas.com. Dynasty Pools and Spas. All right, we are really piling it on. Number 1, top 5, top 10, 1st round. Those are the 4 options I'm going to give you about Nico getting drafted. I'm not even going to give you beyond the 1st round because I don't think that's going to happen. And we want to hear from the message board too. Where do you think Nico could potentially get drafted?
I think top 10. Even though I'm very high on Nico, and you guys know how I am, I think scouts are not going to be in love with how simple a Heupel's offense is, and it's going to work against any Heupel quarterback. I think Arch Manning will go higher than Nico, honestly. And I think Shedeur will
needs to give him the field first, though, right?
Yeah, that's true. But I think Arch Manning and Shedeur Sanders will go higher than Nico. As far as this draft, I think Caleb Williams.
No. Let's stick to where he would get drafted in his draft.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Well, I'm saying, like, if Caleb Williams is the number 1 pick, he would be drafted higher than Nico will be the next year, is what I'm saying. So I think...
you think if they were in the same year that Nico would go higher than Caleb Williams?
No. He wouldn't go higher than Caleb Williams or Drake Maye. Probably everybody else on this list, though.
Dylan points out the way the NFL draft works out, there are usually 5 teams or so that need quarterbacks, and that's about right. There's oftentimes one guy that could slip to that mid-20s round. Aaron Rodgers, who you mentioned, was one of those, not mid-20s round, but mid-20s in the 1st round. I wouldn't be stunned if that happened to Nico because of the system and people pointing to that and wondering, saying that he has all the physical ability, but is he a system quarterback? But let's not forget this. How does Hendon Hooker do? Does he see the field? They've got Goff right now, but if he gets on the field and plays well, that's going to help Nico a lot.
Yeah, you are right. That'll be a big impact. And guys, I want to be honest, like, this quarterback thing is it's so hard to predict, Dave. Let's be honest. Remember, Patrick Mahomes and Mitch Trubisky, I think both were drafted the same year, weren't they? With Chicago and Kansas City. And both Chicago and Kansas City were lit on fire for trading up to get those quarterbacks. Well, now Kansas City looks like a genius. Chicago looks like clowns. but nobody knew that at the time. We thought both of them were idiots for trading up to get those quarterbacks, honestly. And so these things are so hard. The one thing I will say, I don't think scouts now, I think they're smart enough to not fall for, oh, this quarterback was good in the system, so they're smart enough to not fall for those patterns anymore. I could be wrong. I mean, half this country still believes in zodiac signs. So, I could be, but yeah, I could be wrong that they don't try to create patterns out of quarterbacks coming from somewhere, but I think they're smart enough now to realize that's not the case.